everybody, my name is Akuya. Thank you for joining me in this video. I will be talking about my accomplishments and making plans for 2024. Let's start with me making goals every single December for the next year. I think I've had that going on since like 2014. So for every single year, I would write a whole list of goals. Before writing a list of goals, I would write a list of my accomplishments for the previous year. This year, 2023, I was very hesitant to write my accomplishments list because I truly believe that I didn't really do anything worth mentioning or anything worth writing down. But my mom is a very nice lady who likes to give you credit when it's due. She's like, oh, let's go out and let's make this accomplishment list. And we did. She was the one helping me making my accomplishment list because my head was a little bit empty. I feel like I haven't really done as much. But as she was like, throwing these at me, my own accomplishments started to pop into my head. And I think I have like 40 things that I wrote down, which is crazy because I came in thinking, I'd probably write like 7, maybe 6. Then after listing all of my accomplishments, I realized that there was a pattern in them. Realistically, looking back on my goals for 2023, I didn't cross off many things on that goal list throughout the year. However, I think this year was very emotionally healing for me, which I think is better than ticking off things on my list. With every single month, I feel like I've healed a little part of myself, and my friends and my boyfriend and my family have been a really big aid in that, so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm honestly not the kind of person that gets agitated when I don't cross off all those things. This is a nice guideline for me of things that I want to accomplish. But if I don't tick it off, I'm not like, how dare you? For people that are like that, I would recommend writing a letter to yourself in the future and listing all the things that you want you to accomplish. Make sure that you're writing that list with all the love you have. Pretend that you're writing to a friend, to a loved one, because you are your loved one. Be as compassionate, as empathetic as possible. Be as soft and as sweet and as loving. I hope that you went for it because you're so amazing and you are worth it and blah, 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 blah. You can always write yourself a love letter to yourself in the future. With looking through my list, I've realized that I have become a lot more independent than I was in the beginning of the year. Let's first say I am an adult, but it doesn't quite feel that way a lot of the time. Right now, I live with my family, with my parents, and I feel like that made me go back to infantilizing myself a little bit, like doing all of these things that made me feel independent. For example, I went and researched tires for my car. I called them, I went there, got it done, paid for it myself. Like, it was very, even though it's just tires, I feel very accomplished in that one little thing. And there are a lot of pieces on my list that are just that very small independent things that made me feel grown, finally. Driving around downtown Toronto without fear. That, quite honestly, it was a big fear of mine. It's just, no, Toronto's crazy. People don't know how to drive there. They're very cutting with their driving, very aggressive, and everything is narrow and there's a lot of one-sided streets. It's just so complicated. But now I feel so at ease there. That makes me feel very independent, very grown, because I'm not afraid of this big city life. Big city roads. Also, one thing that my mom made me realize, she is a life coach, and one time she gave me a session of life coaching and she talked about that wheel of balance. My wheel of balance wasn't balancing quite well. First of all of the points were really small. I didn't have enough of anything. It was out of whack. And in this 2023 year, I thought I will balance out one thing at a time. I'll start with my creative endeavors. Didn't happen. However, what did happen is emotional stability. I feel like it also lifted and pulled all the other areas of my life. And now that my mental is a little bit more clear, emotionally I am freer and clearer, I think I am ready to actually get into my creative endeavors this time. If I didn't work on healing my emotional state, I would never have applied for the music school jobs that I did in Toronto, because I have a crazy imposter syndrome. And I feel like I don't belong in a lot of these places because, like, who am I? So just working through those hurdles of not feeling good enough for even the thing that I've been doing for 10 years, which is singing. Still feeling not good enough? Like, come on. So even though I was very afraid and I still have a crazy imposter syndrome, I did apply to all these jobs and I got all of them. I'm just gonna put it out there. But yes, imposter syndrome will be a continuous work in progress, because it's been a continuous work in progress. I don't know, is there any people that don't have an imposter syndrome? Probably narcissists, right? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. And that brings me to the goals of 2024. I won't be reading out my list, even though I do have a list, of course. I don't know, I'm a list girly. Do you feel me? I think I have 800 notes on my phone, and I'd say 600 are lists. The main umbrella for the year is going to be consistency. I learned a lot about consistency in the last year, in the last few months actually. And being a very impatient person, it's hard. It's hard out there. But honestly, I realized you just gotta keep showing up. And you know what? Time shall pass anyways. So might as well acquire that skill, or start that job, or start working out, or whatever your goal is. You know what I mean? One of the smaller goals under that umbrella, but also a goal that ties a bajillion goals together, is creative endeavors. As I said, last year was a year of emotional healing, and this year is actually the year of pursuing things that I am passionate about. However, having an imposter syndrome and being a perfectionist with super high demands for myself is not the most ideal combo to have as a creative. So I made myself a tiny set of rules that will help me push through that hurdle. Number one, sleep on it. A lot of the ideas that I don't like in the moment, because when I'm in the flow and I have the specific goal in mind that I try to achieve and it doesn't work that way, it makes me very agitated. But once you sleep, that state of flow is broken and you can look at your work with fresh eyes. Although in some cases I do need to put it away for like a few days to actually get the clearest mind. Just give it one night and look at it again. Usually you're a lot chiller and a lot less critical about that. Rule 2, do not discard any ideas. Ideas, they're so precious, their execution might suck hard. Take pieces from it that you really liked and keep them for the future reference. And rule 3, the one that I don't like the most, accept that it will suck sometimes and post it anyways. By post, I don't necessarily mean to like social media. Share it. Because I know with a lot of perfectionists, if it's not perfect, we are very hesitant to be doing anything with it, to show it to people. But without that, you won't ever show anything. Come on now. Then in a few months, you will see the growth that you have made. Consistency is key, and growth comes from consistency. That's partially why I restarted this YouTube channel, because I want this to be my outlet for posting consistently and seeing my progress, so I can be accountable. The second goal I have under that umbrella that also ties a bajillion goals together is being a better friend. I am horrible at responding to texts and making plans and showing up sometimes, and I admit that, and I really don't like that about myself. So I will definitely work on that this year. 2023 has been very depleting in terms of my extroversion cup, in terms of my energy. And in 2023, I used to work as a vocal teacher 6 days a week. And just imagine seeing 10 people a day for 6 days a week. And for each one of them, you have to find their approach to teach them and to connect with them and to find a way that you guys can work on things together. It can be very difficult, and sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, some students don't care to be there. And vocals is my passion. So if I'm teaching vocals, I am teaching vocals. I give my all and I have nothing in return, and then just depletes my cup. What helped me replenish that cup a little bit is seeing my friends. I am an extroverted person, so I do recharge from being around the people that I like and that I want to be around. During this holiday season, I decided to see a lot of my friends for the last time before the end of the year. And I have been feeling a lot more calm, a lot less anxious, a lot more energetic. And now I'm actually doing things because I'm actually feeling a lot of energy sprouting again. So I have made a clear goal for myself to see my friends once a month. And I don't know how realistic it is in Canada. Whenever I'm trying to see my group of friends, we always shoot for like 2 months in because everybody's busy. So I don't know how realistic it is, but I want to try. The third big goal that will also tie a bajillion goals together is showing up as I am. It is very scary, especially when you live your whole life as a people pleaser. It's very scary. But as my psychotherapist says, so what? Let people feel however they want to feel. You can't control it, and you shouldn't control it. Otherwise, it becomes very manipulative. Whoever loves you will stay, and whoever doesn't stay doesn't need to be in your life. So just goodbye. And I just gotta tell myself that every day. Every day has a mantra. If they don't want to stay, they won't stay, and that's fine. Let them be. And it's also just a matter of consistency. One of the foundations of vocal technique is your breath. We always breathe into our diaphragm. And people in their daily life never breathe into the diaphragm. So the first few lessons is a matter of getting used to breathing into that place. And at first it's very weird and uncomfortable, and you always have to be conscious of breathing into that place. But the more you do it, the more automated it becomes. And I feel like it's the same thing with showing up as you are. At first it's really weird and very uncomfortable because you're not used to doing that at all. And then the more you do it, the more easy it becomes. And then at one point, it just becomes your default. Now I don't have to think about my breath when I sing. It just automatically goes down into my diaphragm. So I just gotta start showing up as myself for it to become my default state. And that requires consistency, always being conscious of it. But it does take some time. I'm ready to put in time. Time will pass anyways. Might as well just not be people pleasing after a while. That'd be awesome. One of my good friends says she can always predict what kind of year she's going to have. Like she has a feeling about how it's going to go. And I don't know if that's placebo, but I sense that this year is going to be very transformational for me. And now I just gotta make that happen. I will stay consistent throughout 2024. Just watch me. No, but seriously, if you would like to watch me, give me a follow, and I'll see you next day.